More on that story now. Government departments will be meeting today to try and find a solution to the Cape Town refugee crisis. Foreign nationals were forcibly removed from the Central Methodist Church over the weekend. But they then moved to the park in Zonnebloem and now refusing to move. Aisha Ismail is following this story and joins me now for the very latest. Aisha, what do you have for us?
Well, as you can see, the refugees and asylum seekers are still camped out here in Albert Street, just opposite the Cape Town Central Police Station. They're waiting for word from that all-important intergovernmental task team meeting that is due to take place at 1 o'clock, or was due to take place at 1. We've now heard that that meeting will take place at 2 o'clock and is likely to last for several hours. So, as you can see, people are trying to move out of the burning hot sun into the shade because they've been here since yesterday and they slept here last night. They've had no food, nothing to drink, and they're waiting to find out how this task team is going to help them. Now, this task team is expected to consist of the Department of Social Development, Home Affairs, the City of Cape Town, and also other government departments trying to find a lasting solution to the refugee crisis, and this has now become a humanitarian crisis.
Now, Aisha, I mean, when we talk about what's been happening with the refugees in Cape Town, we know that at the essence of the reason behind why they're homeless at this stage is because they don't feel safe in those communities which they previously occupied. So what happens now?
Well, that's the question that they've been consistently asking. Since they were moved from Green Market Square, they were saying, but where do we go from here? And the response that they've been getting, and especially, of course, from the City of Cape Town, the City of Cape Town has been saying they need to go to the areas that they came from before they moved to Green Market Square. And but the refugees are saying, but we can't go back there because we've left there 4.5 months ago. But let's listen to what the City of Cape Town's JP Smith had to say about this.
It was not like Johannesburg. Johannesburg had legitimate and serious xenophobic attacks, which you could point at, and there was some evidence thereof. In Cape Town, no such evidence exists. We did not have any xenophobic attacks, and there's no police record, no CAS numbers, nothing like that to indicate that there was xenophobic violence. So at this stage, those fears we do not believe are grounded in a reality, and therefore it also makes it impossible to activate the Disaster Management Act and to activate that funding. So even had the court said that other accommodation needed to be supplied by us or provincial government or national government, and I must emphasize none of those spheres of government volunteered to get involved despite repeated requests. They all stayed far away from the problem, trying to palm this off on local government. None of us would have had a legal mechanism to provide those accommodation and services. Aside from the extremely problematic precedents it would then set in terms of tens of thousands of other refugees who would reasonably be able to claim the same care against the backdrop of hundreds of thousands of people on waiting lists for accommodation in Cape Town and many more across the rest of the country.
But the refugees are also saying that they're very disappointed by the fact that the UNHCR has not been involved in their plight, and they're saying that the agency, UNHCR, was the only agency that they could look up to and expect them to help them. But of course the UNHCR has been saying that South Africa is a signatory to the 1951 Refugee Convention, and therefore South Africa is the primary protector of the refugees and asylum seekers. But I spoke to one of the refugees earlier, Lawrence Ntumba, and this is what she had to say.
Very paining to hear the representative of the UNHCR saying that those protesters, ma'am, we are not protesters. I'm going to beg her to call us by our names. We are refugees and asylum seekers. We are not protesters, as she's making it look in the eyes of the world. We are here for our right. Listen to me. We ran away for our life for long. We struggle for our life for long. We're not going to put our kids in the same way, in the same life. Be reasonable.
All right, thank you so much, Aisha, for giving us those latest stories coming from Cape Town regarding refugees and asylum seekers in Cape Town. But this is the rundown, and more local as well as international news will follow.